Peppa Pig and the Toothbrush. After a long night, the sun rose high in the sky. Peppa and George woke up after a good night's sleep. The two sisters woke up and saw their mother pig carrying something into the room. The two sisters, curious, went closer to see what it was. Those are the two sisters' toothbrushes. Peppa took the pink one. George took the blue one. Peppa looked at the toothbrush, then put it to her mouth and brushed her teeth. Seeing this, George also followed his sister's example and brushed his teeth. The two sisters brushed their teeth thoroughly after waking up, which made their mother pig very happy. Peppa Pig and the giant candy cane. One beautiful day, Peppa decided to go for a walk. She skipped and hopped happily outside. She walked past the bustling neighborhoods with cars coming and going on the streets. Suddenly, Bo noticed something very interesting. A cart filled with lots of candy and cotton candy. The announcement stated that the person selling those candies was... Peppa saw the biggest and most colorful candy cane and decided to buy it. And she got the giant candy cane. She immediately slung the lollipop over her shoulder and ran home. George was so happy to see his sister had a big lollipop that he jumped up and down, and Peppa laughed at that. Peppa Pig and the musical notes. On a beautiful sunny day, Peppa and George were dancing to the music inside the house. The two sisters are dancing very happily. Next to it was a speaker playing lively music with unusually loud notes. George walked over and turned the volume up. The speaker turned up and the musical notes gradually became louder. George was very scared, but Peppa was delighted, and the two sisters came up with a great idea. The two sisters leaped to the musical notes, swaying and bobbing to the rhythm. The two sisters flew through the sky until the music stopped. Then they landed and were very happy. Peppa Pig and the Paper Boat. After a rainy day, Peppa and George went outside to play. Only to find puddles everywhere left behind by the rain. The two sisters looked at each other, smiled, and came up with a great idea. The two sisters each had a boat and raced to the largest pool of water to compete. The boat drifted along with the current to the very end. Peppa's boat arrived first and won. They have a really interesting game. Peppa Pig, Giant Daddy Pig. On a beautiful morning, Daddy Pig was taking a walk for exercise. Sweat dripped from his forehead.
Daddy Pig was walking along when he suddenly saw a tree with very delicious fruit.
Suddenly, he noticed one fruit that was truly special. It was different from the others. He ate that different fruit, and unexpectedly, within a few seconds, he turned into a giant chicken. He was shocked and didn't know what to do, so he went home. Peppa and George were inside the house, shocked and curious as to why Daddy Pig had turned out like that. Peppa approached and touched his stomach, and suddenly a hissing sound came out. In an instant, all the gas had escaped from his body, and he was back to normal, and all three of them burst out laughing. Peppa Pig and the Rainbow After the Rain. Another rainy day has arrived for Peppa's family. Peppa and George were in the living room, watching the rain and waiting for it to stop. Whoa! Whoa! Finally, the rain stopped and the sun appeared in the sky. Woo-hoo-hoo! The two sisters happily ran out to the playground together. Outside, after the rain, 7 colored rainbows appeared in the sky. The two sisters ran out and were delighted to see a beautiful rainbow in the sky. George chased after the floating rainbow. Peppa laughed at him, and George, realizing he couldn't catch it, also laughed. Peppa Pig and the Giant Rocket Car. Peppa and George are sitting and playing in front of the house. George and Peppa couldn't believe their eyes when they saw a giant rocket-powered vehicle parked right in their yard. This truck is not only big, but it's also full of strange things inside. Peppa is curious and wants to try them all. George tried to push the enormous well, but he might need a little more strength to move it. No problem. Peppa decided to drive the giant truck, but it didn't seem as easy as she thought. Sometimes, all it takes is a little push of the gas pedal to start an adventure, even if it might be a little out of control. Finally, the car stopped, and Peppa and George realized something. Sometimes joy begins with the most unexpected things. Peppa Pig and the Balloons. On a beautiful day, Peppa and George were running and playing together from inside the house to the yard. Peppa was playing when she suddenly saw something. George stopped and looked in that direction as well. The two sisters decided to go over there and see what it was. And beneath these big trees, there were some round, floating things, colorful balloons. The two sisters excitedly ran over to look at these colorful balls. The two sisters were very happy and loved these balls. Peppa Pig and the Flower Pots. On a beautiful sunny day, Daddy Pig was out buying some lovely potted plants to bring home. Daddy Pig has brought the flower pots home. He turned around and smelled the blooming flowers. Just then, Peppa and George ran out to greet Dad the pig and saw the pretty flower pots. The two sisters decided to help their father carry the potted plants into the yard. The two sisters ran back and forth between the car and the yard. The flower pots on the truck gradually moved to the small yard at Peppa's house. The flower pots have created a beautiful garden. Peppa Pig and the Little Slide. One beautiful morning, Peppa and George were asleep when a knocking sound coming from downstairs woke them both up. That's Daddy Pig making a slide for the two sisters. Huh? Peppa and George decided to go downstairs to see what Dad was cooking. The two sisters ran out as fast as they could. The three pigs were sweating profusely and finally finished building the slide. Peppa and George ran over to see and admire the result and the gift Daddy had made for them. Peppa Pig and the Soap Bubbles. One day, Peppa and George found a small bottle of soap on the table. Whoa! She dipped the bubble blower stick into it. Wow! Peppa gently blew and bubbles rose into the air. George happily chased after the bubbles. Woo-hoo-hoo! The two sisters happily played with balloons. Daddy Pig and Mummy Pig were surprised to see so many bubbles when they got home. The two sisters forced a smile when they saw their parents, and at that moment, their parents were happy to see them. Peppa Pig and the Autumn Leaves. On a beautiful autumn day, Peppa and George, having just woken up from their nap, stepped outside. Huh? When the two sisters went outside, they saw many fallen leaves in front of and around their house. The colorful leaves are lying on the ground. The two sisters were very pleased to see that. The two sisters went to pick their favorite leaf from the ground. George stood there fanning himself with a red leaf. Peppa picked up the leaf and threw it into the air. Seeing this, George also tossed his leaf into the air. Two leaves floated up into the air, then drifted back and forth before gradually falling to the ground. The two sisters had a very pleasant morning upon waking up.